You made it. You're here on a Saturday morning in late summer. Incredible. I'm so grateful to you all. A couple of logistics. If you want to access the Wi-Fi, here's the information. It will need a username and a password. Accept the cookie. And please wear a mask when you're not drinking or eating. So if you don't know who's talking right now, I'm Jazzy. I use she, her pronouns. Woohoo! I'm Chief of Staff at BetaNYC. I'm a lover of people, lover of things that work. I love to creatively solve problems, as I'm sure many of you do as well. Want to start off with a thank you to Jolly, who's in the back. You want to give us a wave, Jolly? Woohoo! Jolly's part of the Internet Society, and he's going to be recording the main stage sessions, which will be available later on. One note is that other rooms will not be video recorded, but they will be scribed, meaning someone will be taking notes. So that's just one thing to keep in mind. I also want to thank Alyssa and John from SignNexus, who will be providing ASL interpretation for us today for the main stage. Okay, awesome. So we're here for CityCamp, which is a community unconference. I've been talking about it with a lot of my friends, and they're very eager, but they're also like, what is an unconference? And I just kind of want to start off by rooting us in why we're here today. BetaNYC hasn't done one of these in a while, but I think we're in a very special moment in New York City history where community building and democracy is more important than ever. We have a citywide election this November, but we're not sure what will happen, right? Next year, we're going to be voting for state representation in Congress. We're not sure what will happen at the federal level, so this is one of the moments where we can come together and create plans on what we want to see in the future. Our goal is always to set the agenda for opportunities for improvement and just to continue to grow our community. It's a huge inflection point right now, and it's so important that we think about the future of our city, the future for our loved ones, our neighbors, our enemies as well, our community writ large. We are the stewards of the future, and we want to do it in community. So I want to start off with the sentiment and give you permission to really listen to that voice in your head that brought you here, that dreams for a better future. I hope you find even just a small piece of this puzzle that you're building through these conversations that you have, through new collaborations and new friends. This event will be built in real time. I love at this moment that like not a single person in the world knows what's going to happen next as far as this event, because we will be building it together. So I encourage you to lean into the humanity of it all. It will be a lovely organized chaos, but trust in yourself, trust in each other, trust in the process. I feel like we have so few opportunities to practice trust, so let's practice it today. As part of why we're here today, we're proposing these 3 questions as kind of like your North Stars to every discussion. Don't feel like you need an answer for everyone, but just keep these in mind as you have conversations. What should the executive, legislature, community do to address this session topic? And your perspective is critical. So the unconference is very different in that we're all participants. There is no kind of like only the speaker, only the audience. So I encourage you to step out of your comfort zone and really participate. Want to thank our sponsors that made today happen. Let's clap it up. Thank you to Reinvent Albany, who tirelessly tries to make the government more transparent and accountable to the public. Thank you to DatabaseTycoon, who helps organizations transform their data into the foundation of their own data empire. And of course, thank you to CUNY School of Law, who has housed us for many, many years and has allowed us to have these kind of community building events. Let's give a clap for all our volunteers. This event is mainly volunteer run, so it's really incredible that folks dedicate their time, labor, skills to helping us do this. So thank you so much. And lastly, thank you all. Thank you to this community. Thank you to all the folks that are begrudgingly stuck in a family obligation but want to be here, or at a wedding that doesn't have an open bar. It's wedding season, but just want to really express genuine gratitude because I think community building is so essential. And with that, I pass to my colleague in community building to speak more to the history of BetaNYC, of what we're doing today, Executive Director Noel Hidalgo.
Thank you. All right, let's see if this works. Good morning, everybody. I'm Noel. He, him are my pronouns. As Jazzy indicated, I am the executive director. I get to work with a really amazing team of individuals on a daily basis. I've gotten to work with many or some of you in this room, and then we've also been honored to bring in a whole new cohort of CUNY students and Fordham social worker students to teach them about public interest technology. But we started back in 2008 as an open government meetup. It was called the NYC Open Government Meetup. How many of you have been with us since those early days? Raise your hand. There's just a handful of us old gray hairs. It has been a journey. We would meet in Tribeca. We would meet in these co-working spaces that were really trying to figure out what their business model would be. And some of us ended up going to an unconference in Chicago called CityCamp in 2010. Most of our work in the aughts and in the early teens was really focused on unconferences and using open space models on an annual basis to bring the community together to discuss policy and opportunity. In CityCamp in Chicago was the first opportunity that kind of nerds across the United States came together who were like, so there's this civic tech thing that's going on in my neighborhood, and apparently we're going to be here to talk about civic tech. How do we kind of come together and join in solidarity? That CityCamp actually helped birth the Code for America Brigade movement and also helped bring about some transformative changes that we saw within the federal government, within 18F, USDS, the Presidential Innovation Fellows. Really, it was the beginning of understanding that us nerds have a role within technology in a way that we can support service delivery. Our last unconference was back in 2014. This was an incubator space at NYU. We had then council member Gail Brewer, who's also the fairy godmother of open data in New York City, and today is her birthday, so happy birthday, Gail. We had one of our own, then Councilmember Ben Kalos, proudly a lawyer and a civic hacker, join us, and a bunch of other community members coming together to think about how do we move forward. We helped write some policy documents called the People's Roadmap to a Digital New York City and set forth this idea that we needed to become an organization that would train the next generation and to help hold community and help hold space for all of us. We really focused on creating open data literacy classes. We have a very special announcement today, which is thanks to Governor Hochul's Connect All program and SignNexus, we have our intro to open data in New York State and NYC and kind of preliminary civic tech tools in American Sign Language, which is the first of its kind. Nowhere have we seen a focus of getting open data classes into American Sign Language, and it is the third most commonly used language in New York City. We need to have accessible content, and we're very honored to be working with SignNexus and the governor's office to have this into American Sign Language. Now, as Jazzy indicated, this is a community event, and we have some community agreements that we want to talk about. How many of you have attended School of Data in the past? All right, good. For those of you who haven't, welcome. The goal is to be most excellent to each other, really to have a thank you, Stallions fans in the back. Wild Stallions fan in the back. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, anyone? Yeah, okay, thank you. So we have a code of conduct. Be kind to each other, be respectful, listen as much as you speak, and we do enforce these rules. So if you need any help, find someone wearing a BetaNYC blue t-shirt. If you volunteer or an associates board member, you will get one of these amazing t-shirts, and we will help you in any way possible. If you see people with a red lanyard, please be respectful of their photo privacy. This is our way to make sure that people who don't want to be in photos publicly available, that they can be respected. The black ones are carefree. We ask that you wear a mask and you stay hydrated. And as Jazzy indicated, we are going to have individuals who are volunteers scribing in each room. So be mindful of what you're saying. It could go into that Google Doc. The reason why we're not using digital recording is so that way, if you want something to be kind of massaged before you walk out there, walk up to the scribe, have a conversation with them, and make sure what's in that document is going to be reflected for us to internalize. The flow of the day. How many of you have attended unconferences in the past in open space? All right, good. We got some experts. Duncan has rebadged the law of 2 feet as the law of mobility. For those of you who have not come to an unconference, there are really 3 core goals. One is to convene community members and to share civic insights and ideas, discuss the processes and projects that people will require further action, and foster formal and informal communities of practice, advocacy, and action, so that way we can move this community forward. There are 4 principles. These are the 4 unprinciples of an unconference. Whoever shows up are the right people. Whatever happens is the only thing that could happen. And today we're asking you to be a little focused on these last 2. Whenever it starts is the right time, but be prompt. And whenever it's over, except be done within an hour. Thank you. We have 3 guiding questions. At the end of each session, we want you to use these guiding questions to identify action items. The scribes are going to take these action items. The BetaNYC staff and associates board is then going to internalize these ideas and think about how do we communicate this out publicly. So what should the executive do from the city or state level? What should the legislature do from the city or state level? And lastly, what should we as a community do? And with that, to talk about how we will take on the programming of the day is our Associates Board. We launched, give them a round of applause. Oh yeah. Our Associates Board started last year as a group of volunteer professionals who want to extend BetaNYC's mission. They are learning how to run this unconference in ways so that way they can help us run School of Data and future unconferences. They're volunteers who are committing their time, energy, and talents to host events, raise awareness, and fundraise. We will have annual calls for people to join the Associates Board. And with that, I'm going to introduce Shreyas and Kayla to talk about the logistics of the day. Give them a round of applause, please.
Testing.
Testing. Okay.
Good morning. How are people doing? That didn't sound that excited. How are we doing? Yeah, let's go. This is all about energy. So, hello again. I'm Shreyas. I'm from the BetaNYC Associate Board.
And I'm Kayla. Yes, we are of the promo video fame. I know some of you may be a little bit starstruck right now. Just try to hold it back a bit. Thanks.
We'll do autographs later. It's fine. But we're here to talk a little bit about the logistics of the day. So we're very excited to give you some details on how CityCamp is going to work.
Okay, so I'm going to go over the agenda for the day. I understand it's a bit ironic to start an unconference with an overview of the schedule, but we will obviously begin with the welcome. This is the welcome. Welcome to the welcome. After this, we will go into pitching sessions. We'll talk more about that here in a second. But following pitching sessions, we will kick off our first session at 11 a.m. That will last for an hour, like Noel said. We'll have a 15-minute break before getting into session 2 at 12:15. After that, we will reconvene for lunch at 1:15. This is a time for you to sort of re-energize. Don't eat too many carbs so you fall asleep during the afternoon sessions. At 2:30, we'll kick off session 3. And then, of course, following that will be session 4, as well as networking bingo. And then at 5:30 will be the after party. Thank you. Thank you. A little secret, the CityCamp is actually the pre-party for the after party. So you definitely want to be there, and we'll see you there.
We'll come back to the after party. There's more details. All right. Let's talk about the cowbell. Who here knows what a cowbell is? Amazing. So, and Jazzy has it right there. So take a look.
The bell, it's usually for cows, but today it's going to be for people.
Right. So when you hear it, right, that means that the time is up for that session block, right? Again, that doesn't mean that's the end of the conversation. This whole conference is about coming together with ideas and building those conversations. It just means that that block moves on to the next one. So make sure that you're moving from one space to another when you do hear that cowbell. We realize it's not the most inclusive way to end sessions. We'll be working on it for another solution for next year, but for this year, this is what you're going to be queuing up, right, to move forward. And you can continue your conversations. There's a third floor commons area where it's sort of unstructured, so you can kind of continue conversations there.
Okay, as promised, the after party. Woo! Okay, when I say after party, everyone's woo, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So it will be at the Greats of Craft, which is an 11-minute walk away. As CityCamp attendees, that's all of you, you'll get tickets for $20 if you don't already have your ticket. That includes food and drinks. There are QR codes throughout the venue, so make sure you snap a photo of that and get your ticket. Again, you don't want to miss it. I heard that you had a surprise choreographed dance for us later.
Come and find out.
Yeah.
So,
Will he or won't he, folks? You'll have to be there to find out.
And you get discounted tickets as an attendee, so make sure you get your tickets.
Yeah, so in addition to the after party,
Yeah.
Thank you. We'll get the hang of this eventually. And Shreyas' choreographed dance. We are also going to be announcing the winner of our People's Choice Award, the Civic Innovator People's Choice Award. We've got 5 great nominees, but it is up to you as the people to make your choice. So make sure you scan this. You can go to the QR code, or we've got the short URL in there for you to place your vote. Okay, so there's 2 areas of scheduling, or for scheduling, that you'll find kind of the details for the day. The first is the pitch wall, so that's right outside the door. I know many of you have already found that and put your pitches up, which is great. You can think of that as the zone in which you will be submitting your session ideas. Then we also have the board, which will be the official agenda. That will be updated throughout the day. So make sure you're kind of refreshing your browser to see it updating live, or checking out the board throughout the day to make sure you kind of know what's going on and what sessions are coming up.
And
This is, yes, there you go.
But you're here live. You can also look at it live for the source of truth. All right, let's talk about pitching a session, right? And this is where we get into really tactical details here. This is, most folks have probably gotten that pitch paper, right? If you haven't, there's extras right outside. But essentially, you're going to be writing your idea. So again, keep it clear, keep it concise, keep it short. Half-form ideas are totally fine when it asks for that idea. This is a collaborative experience, right? So someone else may be, willing to add to that idea, right? So feel free to, don't feel any pressure to have a fully formed, complete idea there. Make sure you post your card, right? It's great to fill one out, but if you don't actually put it on the pitch wall, it's not going to be part of the process. So, the process is you fill out your card, your session page, you put it on the wall. And then also be ready to lead your session, right? If your idea is selected, you'll be the session facilitator, right? That doesn't mean that you have to know everything, doesn't mean you have to be an expert, but it does mean that you can help guide that conversation. Amazing. This is what that pitch page looks like, right? It's very simple and hopefully pretty self-explanatory, but if you have any questions, find a blue shirt. And make sure you don't, when you are, putting stickers later on, we'll talk about it in a second here, put it on that bottom blue part because we don't want to cover the details on the top, right? And let's talk about how we vote for sessions, right? So how the process works is once we have pitches on the pitch wall, everyone should have gotten stickers when you either registered or there's extras near the pitch wall. You take your stickers, you should have 4 of them per person. And you take each of the stickers and you vote, right? So 1 sticker if you feel passionately about, you want this pitch to go through. If you feel really passionately, you can double up. So that'll be 2 stickers. Please don't put more than 2 per session. That's already a double vote, right? Put it on the bottom, like we mentioned on the previous slide, so that we were able to count them. And there'll be multiple voting rounds, right? So there's no need to kind of put it all at once. Save some stickers for later on. You'll have plenty of chances in order to make your voice heard.
Yeah, democracy at work, except for the whole voting twice thing, of course.
Right.
So recommended pitch format. So if you look on the back of the pitch card, you'll see an overview of the different formats that we recommend. Short presentation, you can kind of think about this as your TED Talk without the production lights and the microphone and the stage and the budget and all of that. But nonetheless, sort of the same vibe. Group discussion, pretty self-explanatory. Someone will throw out a topic maybe that they're interested in. The conversation will just flow. It'll be magical. It's really beautiful. Birds of a feather, you can kind of think about this as a support group for your favorite topics or that thing that just really grinds your gears that you need to just get out there and form a community around. And yeah, so again, there's a few other things on the back of that pitch card that you can look at. Feel free to sort of mix and match them. The one that I'm pitching is a bit of a hybrid. So yeah, we can't wait to see what you guys come up with. As mentioned, we'll have session scribes in all of the rooms. They're, purpose is to obviously scribe, but they also will bring clarity to the session and also help to sort of, guide it if things stall. And then at the end, they'll kind of bring things back to those guiding questions and provide actionable direction so that can be fully present and engaged, but also sort of have a clear idea of what we can do next.
Awesome. And we'll cover this real briefly because this is the third time you've seen it, but really to kind of make sure we're guiding those questions, right? What can blank, and blank being executive, legislature, right, and the community do to address the session topic, right? So like kind of, obviously it's an unstructured conference, like make sure you're having your discussions heard, but try to see how, right, the scribe can document, hey, like these are some of our ideas how, these three areas, right, can address this topic.
Okay, session pitches. So we're going to go over this in just a minute, but to give you a high-level idea of how this is going to work, we're aiming for 30 seconds. It should brief, short and sweet, not war and peace. Oh, off the dome. That was, yeah. Okay, it's a gift, really. Okay, so parts of your pitch, you will say your name, the session title, try to come up with a catchy title, a quick just description, and then what format you're sort of aiming for here. And make sure that you also write this down on your pitch card and put it up on the wall because we won't be able to know what you say in the wall. Yeah, so it just to help us out to make sure that we're crossing all of our T's and dotting all of our I's here. You want to do both.
Awesome. And just to be clear, we're actually doing this here in this room. So we're going to hear some exemplars. So we're going to have 5 minutes on the clock. Some of you may have already worked on your pitch. If you haven't, take these 5 minutes to kind of go through your, like kind of the instructions we talked about, fill out your pitch card with your ideas, and then we'll actually go around. You'll have 30 seconds. We'll call on folks who are willing to share their pitch ideas, and we'd love to hear a quick 30 seconds, your name, your session title, a little bit about the format and description, and we'll go from there. Great. All right, we're putting 5 minutes on the clock, starting now.
Woo!
Yeah. Woo. All right. So we would love to hear. We're not going to go through obviously every single pitch possible, but Kayla and I are going to call on some. Kayla and I are going to call on some folks from throughout the audience. Each one of you has a microphone, so you can click on. There's a button there to talk. If you have any issues, you can also just scream, and we will.
We wanted you.
Oh, this works.
The audience to raise your hand.
Okay, perfect. All right, so we will come to you, and we will make sure that works. So
We've specifically been instructed to be like Oprah Winfrey and Phil Donahue, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. Okay.
that's correct. So I'll be a great Oprah. So
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
all right, let's get started. So who wants to be our first volunteer?
Right over there.
Right over there, person.
Yeah, the orange hat. The really cool orange hat.
Oh. All right, first volunteer.
This mic, okay. All right, let's get started. Hi, I'm Ryan Kahn. My session title is My session title is an emergency lifeline for communication for NYC. Whether it's solar flares or extreme weather events, as they're getting more common as the peak of the solar cycle and global warming. The city's communication infrastructure is vulnerable, especially to solar flares, the power system, the communication system. And I'm a ham radio operator, and one of the things we really think about is emergency communication. And I've always wanted to have something for my family they can use. And so I have sort of a novel idea, but I want to learn about how to pitch it to community and the government and everything to make it happen. So I would love to do a session where I kind of talk about it for a minute or two, and then we kind of have an idea storm or thinking hats or something where we can break it down and get a roadmap. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Ryan. Great idea.
Next. Oh, gosh. Oh, yes, okay. Also, Jazzy over here is keeping time for us, so if you are shouting out your idea, then just keep an eye on her for the time.
Hello, my name is Chloe Anderson with DatabaseTycoon. So our session title is called Data Matchmaking, Swipe Right on NYC Data. So this is going to be a collaborative whiteboarding session where you guys can really air out all of your concerns, challenges, questions you have in regards to working with NYC Data. And together we're going to map them all on a whiteboard to help create some concrete solutions.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right. Blue shirt. Here we go. Hope you're ready. All right.
Okay, thank you so much. Hi, my name is Paul. I'm from Barcelona, and I'm kind of living a dream already by being here because I've always wanted to mix politics, democracy, and tech. And in Barcelona, there's not such a huge community, so shout out to you. And I'm picking up on the idea of Tinder, and my pitch is about a session of voting advice applications and mobilizing people to vote in the context of the New York City mayoral elections. So there's a bunch of tools that are there that tackle the issue of democratic disaffection among young citizens. This is a troubling trend, and we're having a lot of information and exciting things coming from the New York mayoral election context, and therefore I want to tell you about an initiative that already had 200,000 users and was #1 in the app stores in Europe to mobilize young people to vote, and then discuss ways of using tech to make that happen in these New York mayoral elections with all of you. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
By the way, we have funding and the support of Columbia University to make it happen, and we can really make something concrete.
Awesome.
Hi, everyone. My name is Katherin Jin. My session title is Internet for All. I'm here with the New York City DSA Tech Action Working Group, and we have been working on a municipal internet campaign. So while NYC gives $2 billion in subsidies to companies like Altus and Spectrum, 22% of Bronx families don't have consistent access to internet at home. So please come to our session to talk about a plan to build municipal internet that can end digital redlining and build a city for everyone. Thank you.
I keep picking as far away from the stage as possible. I know, right? Getting my steps in.
Hi, my name is Dahlia. I'm with the organization Families for Safe Streets, made up of community members who have unfortunately lost family members or been injured due to car crashes. And we have a really promising bill in Albany that can stop the worst of the worst super speeders by installing new technology that would prevent them from speeding. But we need your help to help us demonstrate how the data could flow between different parts of the court system and the government system to demonstrate that this can really work and be implemented. So we hope you'll come join us and have a great impact on making our streets safer. Thanks.
Thank you so much. No, I think.
Aidan, you want to come over, or you want to I can come over to you? All right. So I'm Art Chang. That's Aidan Feldman. Raise your hand. So we have been in the civic tech space for probably 20 years. Aidan was 18F. I was a co-creator of NYC Votes and Casebook. So our title of our panel is called Tech Mayor. And if tech debt were a mountain, New York City's would be the Himalayas. Winter is coming. The hostile federal administration, withdrawal of critical services and funding, and new policies are attacking our most vulnerable. We have a hell of a lot to do with a hell of a lot less. So we need ideas, collaboration, and your participation. So please join us, and we'd love to hear what it is. The format of our session is going to be breaking up into small groups, generating ideas, and voting on some ideas. Aidan and I already have a working group that is putting together a set of recommendations for the next administration.
Awesome.
As some of you might know, the Mamdani campaign is proposing public groceries to reduce the price of essentials for families. What I'd like to do is I actually have a 30-page pitch prepared for the campaign where I want to include some other factors in what I call the people's infrastructure, which is one, just a colossal community center that has a lot of different services inside of it. And so you can get like a public alternative for gym membership and things like that. They're non-exploitative. But also the centerpiece is the Rotating Chef Community Restaurant, which is a
30 seconds are up.
nonprofit restaurant where there's a different chef every night of the month. And they get an ongoing, repeating business. And they can pre-sell tickets removing the... Okay, there you go. It's a complicated thing, but I got a whole one-page pitch right here.
Amazing.
Woo-hoo. Hi, my name is Melissa Minnich. The name of my session would be from what was it? Preventing the prison to shelter pipeline. And it's essentially looking at reentry services for those with a history of incarceration. Those with incarceration are 10 times more likely to be homeless in New York City. And it's really looking at ways to strategize ways to provide reentry services, starting from the moment that people are arrested to the times that they are released. And that could be through digital. 30 seconds are up. Lots of other ways, but it would be group talk, brainstorm, lots of that.
Awesome.
Thanks. I'd like to do a session on, my name's Devin. I'd like to do a session on building web apps portals with Softr and Airtable, no code required. We're going to demo how we did that for the new Civic Tech Field Guide directory. But then there's also a session I would like to hear someone give, which is explaining what an open source program office is, which is UN speak for widespread distribution of open source in governments.
30 seconds are up.
Thanks.
Leaving us hanging. I'm intrigued.
Before we get to the next one, how many people have hands up? Can you stick those hands up high so that way we can see them? Right, great, thank you.
Hi, everybody. My name's Rachael Fauss. I'm the Senior Policy Advisor at Reinvent Albany. We're one of the sponsors, so thank you. I really want you all to help me do my job better. So my session title is called Beyond Open Data Laws, Implementation, the most sexy word ever. So how do we get pesky agencies to actually comply with the law? Do we need more resources, community press attention, legislative hearings? Help me do my job better. Come to the session.
Hello.
Hi. Sorry.
Okay. Hello. My name is Jacob. I work with the Fortune Society, which is an organization that works with the justice impacted community in New York City. We're very focused on trying to fill the gap, the gaping hole that was left by the end of the Affordable Connectivity Program, which was a federal program that provided phones to people in the lower income range of the spectrum. I want to have a discussion on how New York City can help facilitate a pipeline of reuse of old phones, of old technology for people who are less advantaged. So, yeah.
Hi, my name is Miranda. My session is about mapping, analyzing NYC movie TV filming data. So I'm interested in how expanded New York City filming data can tell us about the distribution of filming in the city, the state of the industry and how it's evolved, and addressing resident concerns and anything about all that. So it'll be a conversation, brainstorm, and something I've been working on as a freelance journalism project. So, yeah, thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you. Hey, everyone. Good morning. My name is Gabby. I'm with BetaNYC, and I'm really excited to propose a session alongside our Executive Director, Noel Hidalgo. As of now, our title is going to be Code, Care, and Community, Strengthening Our High-Tech Storytelling. As many of you know, we have a lot of community resources. We've been recently experimenting with different avenues for our newsletter and our Reddit group. But we know that we're not the only ones who are navigating these challenges. So we want this to be a space where you can share your stories, what community means to you.
30 seconds are up.
Great, and thank you so much. We hope you come. Yay.
Hi, my name is Abu Naeem. I'm on the field team for Transportation Alternatives, and my session title is called safe and equitable access to parks, campaign to adding crosswalks. And right now the problem is along the park perimeters, there's no crosswalks, so it's very dangerous for pedestrians and cyclists alike. And it is very sad where there has to be fatality before local community action is taken. So how can we be very proactive in this approach?
30 seconds are up.
I would love to, in this session, I'm going to do active problem solving to create a data set to address this.
Woo!
Hi, my name is Christian Casaza. The name of my session is Fast and Free Analytics with Open Tools. The goal in my session, I'll be showing you how you can use open tools like DuckDB, Parquet, and Arrow to ingest and query any data set from NYC cheap and fast. The goal of my session is to convince everyone here that you already have the skills and money needed to do any type of specific goal you want. You just need a little effort to know how to teach them. So if you come to my session, I'll teach you how to use these skills with an AI. Thanks.
Hi everyone, I'm Guo. I'm an independent developer, software developer. So my session title is Take Back the Internet, Make It Ours, Make It Local. So the idea is that we already have the technology to have an internet that's decentralized and local focused. So what would you do to do that? So I'm a technologist, so I want to bridge the gap between what technology can do and what we need right now. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Ursula and my session is called Eat This, Connecting Community Fridges and Mutual Aid Stops to Retail Discards. In New York City, a lot of stores discard a lot of very edible, fully packaged food. This idea is to whiteboard ideas on how to crowdsource and connect people who can ferry that food to community fridges and mutual aid stops.
Hello. My name is Sergio Monterroso. My session is called Saving Social Programs. As you know, this administration is trying to defund a majority of the social programs that exist federally and defunding the state funding for their own social programs. So my session will be a brainstorming session on how we can use civic technology and AI to make the programs more efficient, affordable, and effective, and align policy with outcome.
Hi, my name's Daniel. The title of my session is Mapping New York City Civic Tech. The goal is going to be to collaborate on building a data set of the civic tech projects in New York City and then publishing that online somewhere, maybe GitHub. If we have time, building a website to explore that data, but just trying to give people the data they need to find projects that they're interested in learning more about or contributing to.
Hello. Hi, my name is Jen Rochelle, and my session is going to be called Green Prompts. So growing up in Memphis, Tennessee, I was exposed to a lot of at-risk communities. Now Elon Musk is polluting the water resource and the air to build Mecha Hitler. I mean, growing up, especially these are lower socioeconomic African communities at risk. So my session is going to talk about how we can localize
30 seconds are up.
And help come up against a campaign that helps to how to use and best practices of AI models.
Good morning. I'm Brett. I teach finance at the City University of New York. And raise your hand if your rent is too high. Oh, surprise. So my catchy title is Affordable Housing Now. I want to do a group discussion about solutions, technology and otherwise. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Richard Nipel. I'm chair of Wikimedia New York City, local nonprofit, and Wikimedia residents at CUNY. I want to share public library wiki kiosks. The idea is to bring in physical installations into public libraries, have some leads with Brooklyn Public Library and Queens Library, to people to share and grow open and free knowledge about local neighborhoods, communities, and institutions. Things on Wikipedia, things on OpenStreetMap, any sort of open databases, and also a lot of hyperlocal stuff that's not covered currently. So if we could make a continual sort of rolling edit-a-thon, if you're familiar with that concept. Thanks.
Good morning, all you beautiful New Yorkers and distinguished guests. My name is Jose Garcia. I'm from Brooklyn Community Board 5. My session will be on United We Stand, Divided We Fall. But why are we so divided? So I would love to encourage, this is going to be a group discussion / anyone ideas, welcome perspectives. This is not me having answers. This is more of anyone that's interested in discussing the topic to welcome in an invitation.
Just a heads up, we have about 3 more minutes left. So if you are dying to give your pitch, but we have not called on you yet, please just hold your hand up and we'll try to get to you all.
Hi, everyone. I'm Andrew. I'm with BetaNYC, and I want to know what is on your civic tech to-do list. So I want to see works in progress, abandoned repos, half-finished ideas, what ifs, a place to share and chat about what we may not know how to do yet.
Hi, I'm Nathan Story. My session is going to be day 1 for NYC. It's a nonpartisan resource to gather publicly available information about what the actual levers of power are for any potential new administrations so that we can help gather all the information that might be useful for making appointments, what calendar, deadlines there are for budgets and things like that. So I have a website up, and I'm looking for
30 seconds
people to
are
help
up.
collaborate. Thanks.
Hi, everyone. I'm Noel. My session is called Why Can't We Fund Public Interest Tech? It could also be called This is Why We Can't Have Nice Things. And so I want to have a conversation about, VC funded tech is thriving, but civic tech, social impact tech is really struggling. What would a sustainable funding model for that work look like?
Okay. Hello, everyone. This is Dimitri from BetaNYC. Our session is called Let's Get Mappy, a conversation about mapping for equity. We introduce our digital literacy project where we go out and introduce open spatial data to folks while helping them map their own spaces, local spaces. And we'd love to have a conversation about community mapping and just all of your great ideas. Yeah. Thanks all.
Hi, my name is Yang. I work at the city government. I'm working on language access. So New York City is home to 700 languages. Queens is one of the most diverse neighborhoods in the world. Yet our city government is still relying heavily on English, and there's federal attacks on language access as well. The current federal administration has designated English as the official language of the U.S. So I want to explore in the session the structural barriers that exclude
30 seconds are up.
communities in the city government and participating in civic life. The session is open. I don't know what I'm going to do, so I'm looking for facilitators and anybody who wants to brainstorm of what we can do in the city government to ensure we're reaching out to people who do have language barriers.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Andrew. The title of my session is Failure Swap. I basically just want to learn from your fuck-ups and how we can build better tools, better campaigns, and better advocacy going forward. Thank you.
All right.
I think I saw Talha also. Okay.
Hi, everyone. I'm Natarajan Krishnaswamy from Hell's Kitchen, and the title of my session is Empire State Privacy Agenda. And it's a group discussion idea storm around what our community's privacy concerns are and what the priorities should be for city, state advocacy in that regard, transparency, privacy, surveillance limitation, and what the role of civic tech and civic technologists should be in that.
Hey there, I'm Nick.
I have a quick show and tell of a platform I built that maps the locations mentioned in local news articles in New York City. I'm curious to explore the gaps, explore areas for expansion, and talk about what this could mean, how this could expand to other areas as well. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Here, Taha, I'll come to you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Talha. What we're pitching is meme governance when the feed becomes the state. I don't know if you've seen government accounts being snarky or sharing memes and going viral on social media. But the idea here is that there's a hidden algorithm that is shaping government communication, and we'd like to discuss what you think about it and how we can make it more democratic instead of being controlled by the algorithm. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Matt Keogh. My session is titled NYC Needs a Unified Developer Platform. Basically, all the different agencies in the government should all have a shared developer dashboard, as well as engaging the community on that same dashboard so we can enact repositories directly and share them. Thanks.
Awesome. So I hope we're all really excited about hearing some of those session pitches, and the rest of the day is all about getting these pitches. We're going to be voting. We're going to be listening to them. It's going to be a great time, right? So as we talked about, the next steps here in a orderly fashion, if folks can go from this room, you're going to go outside and then right there is the pitch wall. That's where you're going to take your pitch, your page, right, that you've just put down your session pitch, and you're going to put it on the wall. There are groups, so you can kind of cluster them around the similar topics, right? And then you're going to use your stickers, and that's where you're going to be voting, right? On the bottom, there's a little bit of a colored area, like we showed on the slide. That's where you're going to put either 1 or 2 stickers for the sessions that you're excited about, that you've heard some great things about, or maybe there's something new out there, right? And then from there, the team is going to take those pitches, and then we're going to formulate the board. This is the virtual version of it, right? And that's how we're going to be building our unconference. Really excited about all the pitches that have been shared today, and that's it. Go team.
And just as closing, thank you. Give it up for these two for running all of this. Thank you. Thank you for being here. The board is running in a Google spreadsheet. So we already have some first sessions that are up here. So feel free to go pitch, go program, have fun, enjoy the day, network, and CityCamp.NYC/board will get you directly to this Google sheet. CityCamp.NYC/board will put you right here to this document. Any closing remarks?
Have fun, kids.
Have fun. Thank you. Thank you.